Hello, and welcome to Mess World, a podcast dedicated to discussing the highs and lows of pop culture every month. I'm Jessica DeFino, and I write the newsletter Flesh World.
And I'm Emily Kirkpatrick, and I write I Heart Mess.
And
Welcome.
we're back for
We're
April.
Back. Another pod.
Another pod where we're like, what the hell are we going to talk about? And we end up having like 10 pages of notes because there's just too much.
I know. It's always the pre-pod panic. I feel like that I haven't had it. It's the same when I write the newsletter, honestly. Yeah. I think like, oh, I haven't had a thought all week. Like, what could I possibly... And then I write like 3,000 words about nonsense.
Yep.
But if people out there do have things they want us to talk about, you should tell us.
Oh, yeah.
We're available for commissioned conversations, I guess. If there's some topic that you're desperate to hear our thoughts about, I can't imagine what it would be, but
yeah, let us know what you want to hear. We could also do like a mailbag episode one day where we like solicit questions and just do like a fun Q&A, maybe like a bonus episode or something.
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
So
well,
give us your questions, I guess.
Leave some questions in the comments. Okay. I want to start this review of April with April Fool's Day fake products. The joke is on us. The joke is on us.
Yeah, quite literally. I got. I hate April Fool's Day. It's really one of my least favorite things that America does. I don't like being tricked. I don't like being tricked. And sometimes, as the trick that I fell for the poster girl trick. For any readers of mine, I assume you fell for it too, because I presented it as though it was real. Because I just thought it makes sense as a product. Basically, Poster Girl made a C string, which is a word I didn't know before, but it is the technical word for like a G string without straps. So I've been calling them just cod pieces, which I think is also apt.
Maybe that's what C string is short for. Cod.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even question it. I was just like, well, the shape is a C. So I was just, you know what I mean? Like
it could be both.
It could totally be both. I didn't even think about that. But the fact of the matter is it doesn't exist, so it doesn't even matter. Poster Girl said they made the most expensive C string in the world. And I believe them because why would I not? Like, it's very up their out. That's the type of clothing and things they make anyway. They should be making that.
Yes.
Anyway, it was fake. Stupid.
A lot. I mean, obviously, a lot was fake that could have been real, which is kind of my point is like, April Fool's Day products in the beauty space are pretty much indistinguishable from actual products that actual people are spending an actual big amount of money on throughout the year. So some examples of like joke products that I was like, where's the joke? I saw a Cure do protein peptide eye patches. And in fact, like protein infused skincare was like a big joke across the board for a lot of brands. But I'm like, that's like, you make things that have collagen in it. Like collagen is a protein. That is what you're selling. That is what we're buying, and that is what you're selling. Like
they're putting forth protein as though that's ridiculous and absurd, as though none of the claims they make could possibly be conflated with infusing protein into something, right?
Exactly. The skincare brand Experiment put out a picture of a fake version of their super saturated serum collab with Mountain Dew Baja Blast as a joke. It did happen. Like I looked it up, and Mountain Dew did a collaboration with a brand called Blind Barber last year, and they literally put out a Baja Blast body spray. So that's real, and people bought it. Okay, my favorite was Beauty Stat Emotional Protection SPF 1000. And it's just like we have like self-made secure attachment comfort serum, which I have made fun of to no end, which you can buy with a copy of a book on attachment styles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Metaphysical.
I know.
But also, didn't you say before that like Rare Beauty has similarly like mental health named type of like products? So
completely.
Right. Like emotional wellness to me is part and parcel of that.
Yeah. It just like doesn't read as a joke. Dyson Beauty put out a video insinuating they were developing a range for pets of like pet blow dryers.
We're doing that.
Yeah, we're doing that. There's an entire dog beauty industry. In the past year alone, we've had Lil Love Dog, Welltail, and Biche launch. And then Dude Wipes put out a fake butt mask as if that was a joke. And I'm like, there's a whole industry. Idea. No pun intended. There is a whole industry right now. Like we have plenty of butt masks. We have whole serum. And then this is a real product that I wish was an April Fool's Day product.
Okay.
Olipop and the brand Good Wipes just collaborated and released flushable wipes that are flavored with Olipop soda flavors.
Flavored for who? Your butthole?
Your
Like what?
butthole.
Your butthole can't taste, can it?
I mean, somebody
I
could
guess.
taste your butthole.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I'm thinking
I
about the
don't
wrong
know.
way. Yes, someone could taste the Olipop on your butthole, I guess. That's
So
a
it's
selling
just
point.
like, the beauty industry is already a parody of itself in
Yeah.
2026. And so parody is not effective. It's like,
Right, all of these pranks, quote unquote pranks, feel like they're testing product or so, you know what I mean? Like this is the
yeah.
trial run or something like, let's see how they react to this one. And everyone's kind of
Mhm.
like, yeah, I mean, that seems like everything else you make. And they're like,
We have that already.
gotcha. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, you should be making a butt mask, dude wipes. Like that is actually a
Everyone
very
else is
logical
doing it.
extension of your weird product to begin. Like it's no weirder than what you're doing. That's very funny. I'm glad that they don't understand their own joke about themselves.
I know. Well, the April Fool's Day product that pissed me off the most because this was my idea. Glossier and Fishwife pretended to release a
Oh,
collaboration of sardines to get dewy skin from the inside
that's a
out.
good one.
And I feel like we literally reached out to Fishwife to
Yeah,
sponsor our event
I do believe
and
we
never
did,
heard
yeah.
back because I have been saying I want to do Flesh World like fishmonger
Yeah,
collab for
yeah.
salmon and, all the omega fatty acids. But
Yeah,
yeah,
again, it's just a good idea, like, it's just smart brand synergy to me. I'm not sure that they're making a joke
I know.
anywhere.
I feel like out of all of these, like this is the one that could materialize into a real sort of
That's how I
collaboration.
felt about Poster Girl's C-string, and now it's being denied to me. And also, you looped Guinness World Records into this, so they fooled me too. Like, I'm offended. I don't
It's
like
not
being
right.
tricked.
I
I'm the
think
one who does the
we
trickery.
need to rally all Mess World listeners to petition Poster Girl to release the C string. We
That's
need to
such a good
get in
idea.
their DMs. We need to be flooding their customer service email.
We've never rallied our troops before, and I feel like this
Let's
is such a
see.
worthy like, can we flood I don't even know how many people listen to this podcast. I assume it's like 10. Can all 10 of you, like, flood the comments of Poster Girl and tell them that Mess sent you and that
Mhm.
they need to make this product for real and it's not funny?
I think we could get it to happen. I really do.
Oh, it's so irritating to me. It's so obvious, and somebody has to make the C string. Cod pieces are coming. The Pornhub Awards told us last year that cod pieces are coming,
Yep.
and who will be the first? Poster Girl, it could be you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Should I continue my other
Yes.
various fashion rants? Okay,
Yes, I would
great.
love to hear.
I just wanted to update everyone on the status of the chickens in Hollywood. They persist,
They
and
really do persist.
I know this is one of those trends too that's like I know I say this every time I come up with a trend, but this is a very good example of one that I am always joking at first. Like I just think it's goofy, silly, laughy, something I
Yeah.
noticed that's fun for everyone. And then it starts spiraling out of my control in a way that it becomes undeniable and I have to admit that I've actually like accidentally put my finger upon a trend that is genuinely happening. And that's how I felt all month because the things that I was seeing out there were so explicitly chicken. I like if you thought they were chicken, the things I showed you before were chicken, you haven't seen chicken. Like, let's just start. Chrissy Teigen wore this Balenciaga look, and the skirt genuinely looks like it is made from the hide of Big Bird.
I
Like
saw this.
it
Mhm.
is the exact shade of Big Bird. It is feathers that look like Big Bird. Like it looks like they murdered Big Bird and made this skirt, and I think that's very strange. And then I saw Lisa Ann Walter from Abbott Elementary. For those who aren't familiar,
Oh,
she's the
yeah.
redhead. She went on Jimmy Kimmel in a feather jacket that like you couldn't invent a better chicken Halloween costume than this jacket. Like it is the exact floof of a chicken, the exact coloring even. I was trying to put my finger on like what this color is because it's like white with a little bit of like burnt sienna maybe to it, but it's almost like when
Ooh.
a little white dog gets dirty. The way they
Yes.
yellow
Yes.
and they brown. It's
Mhm.
very much that is happening on the coat, and it's reads so chicken. I don't know how she doesn't see it. I don't know how everyone doesn't see it. It was
Maybe
really
they do.
striking.
Do you
Maybe
think
they
none of these
do.
people know that they're doing chicken?
I mean, I'm sure they like make a joke about wearing
Yeah.
feathers, but I don't think they think I myself look like
Yeah.
a chicken walking around
Yeah.
a life like a human-sized chicken. And then my last one for this month, of course, it's ongoing. Was Emily Blunt in Schiaparelli at the Devil Wears Prada 2 London premiere. And as I said in my newsletter, I just think that like Emily Blunt is Schiaparelli's bravest soldier. Like they are giving her gowns that are just like monumental feats to pull off. Like nobody could pull the like Zendaya couldn't pull this off. You know what I mean? Like they are just really tasking her with difficult gowns. And I was specifically thinking about she wore one to the Oscars in 2024 that like everyone on social media at the time was really fighting over because it
The
had both
shoulders.
it was the shoulders, it was the raised shoulder straps that everyone thought was an accident, but like was obviously very intentional. And then they also had like a sequined trompe l'oeil tidy whitey on top of the gown. Do you remember that part? I think that part got
Yes.
overshadowed
Uh-huh.
because of the straps.
Uh-huh.
But both were very challenging elements to an Oscars dress. And
It's a
I
lot
just
going
thought like
on.
and Schiaparelli just makes like such beautiful, I don't know, elegant, high fashion, conceptual gowns. And then they give Emily Blunt these things that I'm just like, what? Why are you doing them, my girl, like that? My fellow Emily. Anyway, so she wore this dress that the whole bodice is like fully feathered. And honestly, even the boob part kind of looks like beakish in a way that's very
I need
odd. And
to
it
look this up.
comes up above the neck. Yeah, of course. Photo will be inserted in the video version of the podcast for those curious, or just Google it. I mean, you'll find it. But like a big feathered circle comes up onto her décolletage, I suppose I would say. And that
Yeah.
alone is like, that's what a silky chicken's head is shaped like. Like, that's what it looks like. They have
Yes.
these big, round, like halos of feather,
Mm-hmm.
and it
You're
looks like her dress.
completely correct.
And then, so someone on my I think it was on my YouTube channel, someone somewhere on the internet said to me that all of these feathers that they think that they're just happening because it's spring and it's Easter and hence chicks. And I just want to say, like, I hear you. Like it is florals for spring coded, but I just want to say we've lived through a lot of springs and a lot of Easters and there were no feathers.
We don't get
So
this
just
every
want to
year.
put that out. All right, this is
No.
not a yearly occurrence. This is a very specific this year occurrence. So I just wanted to push back on that a little bit. And then also, of course, like there's like the logical side of my brain that knows how this industry works. And then there's like the trend side of my brain that's like, well, why though is it happening? Like the logical side of my brain is like, well, of course feathers are happening because like all luxury brands get their materials from the same textile manufacturers. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're all going to the same source. So that's why trends happen. Honestly, like you'll see a lot of the same colors in collections or a lot of the same materials because that is what the big textile companies are like pushing that season, or like that's what they have excess of. So I assume what they have excess of for the last couple of collections I've shown is feathers, and so that's why we're seeing feathers everywhere. But I just feel like I don't know, like it's to me, fashion is never like even though there's a logical business answer, it's like never an accident to me why certain looks are happening at certain times. Even so,
Right.
so I'm like I'm very stuck on this idea of like oh, I don't know why feathers right now. Like, what about the aesthetic? And I know we talked before about kind of just like the opulence factor of it. Like, there's something kind of the visually, it seems to support the price that you're like the overly
Yeah.
inflated price that you're paying for these things. Because like, look at their ornateness, look at like the difficulty of the material, the rarity of the material, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. Today I was thinking about it, and it just started making me think about yesterday we had the book club for our latest book and we're talking about cuteness. We'll get into that more in a minute.
Yes.
But I don't know, I was kind of thinking about the cuteness factor of being like a feathered little chicken or a little bird or something. And there's something I don't know, it feels like something is there to me, which also implies like if cuteness is there, something more sinister and nefarious I think is also there.
Is
And
a
then I
foot.
was like, are we kind of like are we the chickens in the factory farm? You know,
Well,
like
this kind of relates to my theory on the rise of dog beauty that I wrote about last year, which is the and it actually relates to the CNI cuteness theory, but talking about like the personification of animals and the concurrent thingification of people,
mm,
creating a sort of like relation,
yeah,
like on almost an equal footing sort of
yeah,
thing. And I guess I probably would take that further and be like the thingification of women in particular.
yeah,
Um,
totally.
So I don't know why chickens, but I do think that we're seeing like, even if you think of like all of the like dog kink play
Yeah,
or like
yeah, yeah, the
costuming we've
leashes, the
seen lately,
collars, yeah,
Sabrina Carpenter, Man's Best Friend,
of course.
the Wuthering Heights scene, the
Yeah,
scene in Euphoria, like there's a
yeah.
lot
Priyanka
happening with
at,
like,
the Juno Awards,
oh yeah. I mean, there's
she
just like
brought a
so much
collar, yeah.
happening with like adopting animal aesthetics.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also interesting at a time where we're like, we've kind of never been further from our animalness, you know, like we're
Mhm.
entering this like
Well,
robotic
exactly.
computer age and we're weirdly like relating ourselves back to animals
Yeah, and I
aesthetically.
mean, dogs and chickens, I would say, are both very related to domestication. These are
Yeah,
two animals that have been sort of
totally.
domesticated and brought into the nuclear family unit as like pet or
Yeah.
as like part of like the food source chain, you know?
Mm,
So in talking about like the domestication or, you know, of women and women's role within the home and all that's going on politically
yeah.
there, there's some interesting, I guess, angles to consider when we're thinking about
Yeah.
like domesticated animals and how we may relate to them.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, I was thinking about it, I guess, more from like, I don't know, specifically that this is happening with celebrity women. I was
Hmm.
thinking being products, like you are, like you
Oh
being
yeah,
the product in the way that chickens are product and thingified. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think it can
Oh,
be all the above. I think it's all a mixed bag of
yes, and
weird
chickens like as a
shit.
product that produces a product.
Right. Right. And
Yeah,
multiple products actually.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Interesting.
I think it's a
Mhm.
rich text
I know, I
that I
know.
will continue
I'm
to
ready
explore.
for an overarching theory. We need an essay.
It's building, it's coming. And then I just wanted to touch down on a trend of yesteryear that I've seen troublingly reemerge this month that I also don't quite know what to make of, but again, I don't think it's a good sign, whatever it is, which is the return of the joutfit.
I'm excited about
Just
this one.
just you like this one? Just like a head to toe denim situation again. I just thought that we were finally done with this because it really like Julia Fox really terrorized us with a joutfit for it felt like 3 years straight, and because she was terrorizing us with a joutfit, it, like, gave permission, I feel like, to every celebrity to suddenly, like, cheekily do a joutfit of their own as though they were,
Mhm.
like, participating, like, tongue in cheek in this Julia Fox moment, but really it was just, like, denim overload, denim
Yeah.
exhaustion. And so I thought by about 2023 we had really like abandoned it. But there were two outfits this month that came back in full force that really pissed me off. To be honest, they were quite bad. Olandria Carthen. I've never said her name out loud. I hope that's how you say her last
I
name.
didn't even know she had a last name.
Yeah,
You
I've
never
only ever
hear
heard
it.
people call her Olandria. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. From Love Island. She attended the Fashion Trust US event in an area gown that was, yeah, it was a denim evening gown with kind of a little pleated, like, the way they fold fancy napkins, you know, kind of a
Mhm.
pleated flourish at the
Yeah.
neckline of jean, and then had a long denim train, and then it was, really aggressively distressed at the knees and hems, so kind of, like, torn away as though she had been doing, like, I don't know, BMX riding or something in this gown and just kinda, like, got into a crash and it tore open. So, I found that very strange to begin with because we just haven't seen any joutfits, let alone kind of a black tie take
Yeah.
on one that still tries to reincorporate, like, the distressing, which I found odd. Anyway, so
Yeah.
that stood out to me. And then more recently at the Devil Wears Prada 2 premiere in New York, we get Sierra, uh, in just a nightmare of an outfit, if you ask me. I don't know why this really offended me so badly. You know, with all the things that I see in my line of work, I'm always surprised which ones like get me still. And for some reason, this one got me. I think it's just like it's lazy in its badness, which is I
Mm,
think I find more offensive than like taking a risk and being bad, which
right.
I always think is
Yeah.
interesting. But so she wore what I'm calling a summer Canadian tuxedo because it's like a jean jacket with a jean short with a jort. And then over the top of that, she wore a huge, long jean duster jacket.
Oh, I saw this. I did. I saw this. I
My god,
remember the duster.
the duster is, like, unforgivable to me. It took me right back to the beginning of my career, honestly, when I was at People magazine, and there was this stylist named Monica Rose. Do you remember Monica Rose? How could you not? You were at the
Oh,
Kardashian ads.
oh, we worked with Monica Rose.
Monica Rose. And I always want to say Mimi Rose too, because of girls. I'm always like Mimi
Yes.
Rose. But I'm like, no, it's Monica Rose. Monica Rose, for those who don't know, she was kind of like low key the Rachel Zoe of the 2010s for
Yeah.
like very basic celebrities.
Yeah.
And she would always put them in the same version of the outfit, which was like duster, tank top, jean short, and then like a high boot, like a thigh high boot.
Yes. We put
And
so many dusters on Chloe's app. She was
I was
always in a duster.
literally just gonna say, like, if you don't know what this looks like, think of anything Khloe Kardashian's ever
Yes.
worn to this day. To
Uh-huh.
this day, she is still dressing like Monica Rose styles her, which it just blows my mind. Anyway, the Ciara look was extremely Monica Rose to me, and I was like, girlfriend, it's a decade later. You've gotta give it up. And also, this is an outfit worn to a film about fashion with a capital F.
Yeah.
This is a
Yeah.
high fashion film. What are you doing? And then, I mean, and then she put this choker with it that was like Paris Hilton's 21st birthday choker. And I was like, you're killing me. You're actively trying to hurt me. Anyway, so I had two outfits this month that were troubling. And yeah, I'm mulling them over. I don't know what to think about. It did, of course, make me think of the Vivian Westwood quote again, because it's like, especially the distressed gown, because it's like, what life, where would that garment come from? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's clearly trying to tell a story of like, as Vivian Westwood said, like a life fully lived, like experiences had. And I was like, right, we're so beyond that. Like, we're in this weird camp
Yeah.
kitschy place of like there is no experience, there is no reality even attached to a garment such as this. Like, it is pure performance of everything. It's, I don't know, it's very interesting to me. And also that we would be using this material that feels to me so grounded in like the working class, like this gesture towards like relatability while simultaneously being like the most unrelatable garment
Mm.
imaginable. Like, it's a
Mhm.
jean outfit with a 3-foot train.
Yeah.
Like, that's not built for anything but a red carpet, you know?
Yeah.
I don't
Totally.
know.
My best friend like sent me a picture of her parents who were visiting her in LA a couple weeks ago. And I was like, oh my God, they look so cute and they're matching denim on denim like Brittany and Justin. And she was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I didn't even realize. But her like 60 something parents were both wearing joutfits
Ugh,
and they looked very cute, I have to
well,
say.
a whole different breed of joutfit. I don't know
But in
why I'm
regards to the
discussing.
distressing, John, he teaches high school seniors, and they threw a 2016 party.
Mhm.
And so we were looking back at pictures of us from 2016. And I like sent a picture and I was wearing the most distressed, like tight denim skinny jeans. And I was like, oh, we can't be doing this again. We can't
Oh,
be
yeah.
teaching the
That
kids
was
to
a
do this.
time. Well, then also, I don't know if you recall, but the way that that distressed skinny jeans and women's wear fed into, like, the Amiri man, that's what I call him in my head, like, the fashion brand Amiri. They, like,
Oh, yeah.
exclusively make jeans that are, like, shredded from tip to
Hmm.
tail. Like,
Hmm.
they are
Hmm.
just, like, barely clinging to the leg, and they're for men. And
Yes.
anyway, I feel like that led straight into that look, which is also very Love Island, I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I'm overthinking it, and at the end of the day, like, Olandria is just doing, like, a Love Island classic. Like, that's the aesthetic of the
I
show.
think that might be it.
And Ciara is just, like, lost in the 2015s
Yeah.
and has never evolved her style
Like kind
past
of
that,
her
so, like,
defining era. Yeah.
right, I don't actually need to be concerned about this maybe. I'm just I
Let's
like to
hope. Let's hope.
raise the red flag. I like to shoot the warning shot before it's everywhere and we all know it's coming. And also, we haven't read this chapter yet in the CN Nye book, but I was thinking, like, is there an element also of, like, zaniness at play here?
Oh yeah, maybe of like being playful with workwear.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Or like the labor, yeah, like undermining the labor inherent in the garment by
Yeah.
like making it playful black tie or elegant or something. I don't know. We
Yeah.
haven't read the chapter, so I couldn't say.
Well,
Just
we
a
should
thought.
keep that on our radar as we read and see
Yeah,
if we can get to the bottom.
it's percolating in the back of my brain.
So I have noticed some interesting developments in the evolution of the food inspired cosmetics space and its intersections with diet culture. So last episode, I was talking about how the resurgence of diet culture And specifically, the uptick in use of GLP-1s for weight loss has created a very morbid demand for cadaver fat in the cosmetics industry. So we're using cadaver fat for fillers, for boob
Very
jobs, for
true.
butt lifts, because a lot of people in this elite class of people who want to modify their bodies don't have enough of their own fat. And
Gotta
then I
harvest it.
noticed this month, NYX released a new product called Fat Oil Body Oil. And the flavor is Caramelt Mommy. Megan the Stallion is the face of it.
Okay.
And so from the product copy, it says this formula is sweet, sensual, dripping in decadence. Drench your skin in the addictive Caramel Mommy scent with warm ribbons of melted caramel mixed with velvety layers of pistachio cream.
Whoa.
And it's like a really indulgent, decadent description. Like the whole description
Sounds
of it.
like ice cream.
Yes. Well, it sounds like a TGI Fridays dessert
Yeah.
commercial or something. But it also feels like, do you know that TikTok of the diet influencer who was like eating broccoli while smelling chocolate to like trick her brain into feel like she was eating chocolate? It
No.
went viral a couple of years ago, but I feel like that is that TikTok distilled into product
Totally.
copy. And I feel like it's like further evidence of us sublimating a desire for sweets, a desire for decadence, a desire to indulge into cosmetics, because this is like a quote unquote safer way to consume, a calorie-free way to consume, like where Snackwells were like the guilt-free snack.
Yeah.
These like fat oil, body oil, caramel mommy thing is like the guilt-free fat of cosmetics or something.
Yeah.
And I
Like a
mean,
way
like,
to indulge without calories. Yeah,
yeah,
I think that's
it's just
very
like,
classic. Also, there's something weird about like, yeah, turning, I guess this is beauty always, but like turning the woman into like a confection, like a consumable dessert
mm-hmm.
instead of a person.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, this
Of
has so much
course,
to do with like
naturally.
the inanimation of it all, that
Mhm.
objective, I mean, literal objectification. But also
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year, I wrote a bit about how I think fat is the new hair, by which I meant like it's going to become so much more normalized to remove it from one area
Mm,
and then add more to other areas that are like
yeah.
millimeters away, the way we do like with like eyebrow waxing or bikini waxing, but
Yeah.
using like hair growth supplements and whatever, or tattooing your eyebrows on or something.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this is more proof of that trend. Like as fat is demonized in the diet space, it's glorified in the cosmetic space, but only as something to add to the body via other means besides food.
Right.
Like you can't
Right.
eat
Well,
the
because
fat. You got to get the fat oil, body
totally.
oil.
Totally. And I mean, I feel like we've already seen the Kardashians like pioneer that with fat grafting. It's like,
Oh
and
yeah.
slimming down their butts and plumping up the other parts. It's like, right. It's like fat is only good if you can control exactly where it exists on your body and the exact dimensions of it. Like, it's crazy to me also just the way all of it always just boils back down to control over kind of like the
Yeah.
uncontrollable. Like, it is just like a weird existential
Yeah.
cry
I
for
know.
raging against the death machine.
Yeah. Everything outside feels chaotic. The one thing I can reliably
Right.
control is my body.
Is not eating, yeah.
Um,
Or making
Another
my body
sort of
edible.
related piece of news was that Estee Lauder companies released new research linking sugar, consuming sugar, to aging.
Mm.
Um, there was a big piece in Glossy about that, I think today or this week, which
Did
is
we
like
not
true.
know that before?
Well, this is the thing. We do know that. We know
Right.
that like most aging isn't from like biological years going by aging. It's from exposure to different
Yeah,
substances in the environment and your diet, caused by stress, etc. Like 80% of aging is that. So we knew that, but they just came out with more research that they're now using, instead of using it to deconstruct our ideas about what aging is and being like, oh, it's not actually about aging. They're using it to push new topical skincare ingredients to supposedly, combat the effect of sugar on
mm.
skin cells. And I thought it was really interesting when Glossy reported on this. They brought up how glucose monitoring devices, which are often used by people with diabetes, are becoming more normalized for people who are into biohacking and longevity.
Oh,
And
yeah,
yeah, they were speculating that maybe Estee Lauder companies could be getting into glucose monitors for skin health. And to
totally.
me, that's like just a really interesting parallel, because that's Ozempic, like it developed for
Right.
diabetics, being used more widely for aesthetics.
Yeah, but I can totally see that. I mean, I was just thinking I have to embarrass myself in admitting this, but I've given into the dense beans craze.
Oh, I love a dense bean.
And now I know that I too love a dense bean and I'm annoyed about it. It's good. I get it. But like a lot of the talk around dense beans is about like bioregulation and
Mhm.
stuff and like, the fiber, the protein, whatever. But they also one of the big things that everyone who's into beans talks about is like insulin regulation and like
Yeah.
not insulin spiking or whatever, which also feels like, I don't know. It's like it feels like the cortisol spiking thing too conversation around looks maxing where it's like we're looking for all these new like bio indicators to like regulate and control ourselves that are like we've done as much as we can externally so now we need to like dive internally to like regulate processes that were like always functioning fine without our knowledge or intervention but like we're like no like we have to get in there and
Yeah.
optimize it.
Well, and with cortisol, it's so silly because this pressure to optimize and surveil is probably spiking
Yeah,
your cortisol like
yeah, totally,
chronically. Like this is another thing for you to stress over.
totally. Right. It's just
Yeah.
right. It's just I mean, the never ending like creation of new things to worry about and be concerned about and think is going wrong in your body, even though it's like it's a thing that's made to operate within itself. It's like when they talk about like douching and stuff. It's like,
Right.
well, actually, like your vagina is like a like an organism that's already right.
Self-cleansing.
It's self
Yeah.
cleansing. It actually handles itself. Like that's the whole point of it. Or they talk about like detoxing the liver. It's like, well, liver's detox. That's like what they
That's what
do.
it does. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
It
I
feels
always
like
say
it's
like beauty brands get their best ideas from the human body. Like that's how
totally
they know what to market. It's like, what does the body do already? Let's come
right.
up
How
with
do
a
we
product to do
amplify
that.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. Of course, also all of this stuff. I mean, I know that you know this because it's a constant touchstone for you, but it really just makes me think of Jessica Simpson's
Oh, dessert
confectionery body
treats
line. Yeah.
body spray. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yes.
It
Yes.
always brings me back right to that. And I'm like, so ahead of her time. Like she
So
was
ahead of
really
time.
mocked for the whipped cream and stuff, but like, man, she was right on it.
Consuming to be consumable, you know? Lick it off. I
The
wore that
best.
quite a lot. I wore like there
Really?
was like a creamsicle one that I had in high school that like had a little bit of glitter to it. I bought it at Claire's.
Wow.
I wore it all the time.
I think that I probably at that age felt that it was like too scandalous and sexual. So I was like embarrassed to buy it in front of my parents. So I didn't.
Yeah. No, I
Would be
definitely
my
didn't buy it in
guess.
front of my parents. I that was snuck
Yeah.
into the house.
That's a sneaky mall purchase for sure. Well, I just have one last trend I'd like to share with you. Well, it's not a trend yet. It's a trend I've been hoping for, but it's just one I've been really excited about. So I wanted to share it with you. Is basically I've been like pretty obsessed with this idea of inflatable attire or like accessories. Since this Rick Owens, I can't remember exactly what season it is, but they're called Porterville boots, and people might remember them because they were like big inflatable shoes that go up to the knee and they kind of turn the whole like bottom half of your leg into like a teardrop shape, I would say. They feel very much like people also might remember that summer where that like joke brand Mischief made the big red boots and they like seeded them on all these influencers, but they were like giant
Oh,
clown boots. They look like Ronald McDonald shoes, like literally.
I love that.
They're big foam, oversized clown shoes, and they were putting them on all these, like, hot models and stuff as, like, that was kind of the gag of it, but then they, like, actually became really popular and people were, like, fighting over them to get them and stuff. Haven't seen a single one since that summer, but people were fighting over them. Anyway, so I feel like the Rick Owens boots were very inspired by that, and I loved the idea of a shoe that came with a bicycle pump. There's just something, like, very interesting about that to me, and it
Yeah.
felt I don't know, the thing with me about Rick Owens is I love the way that he always, like, plays with the shape of the human body, like, he just, like, does
Mhm.
not believe in letting a body be human-shaped, and I think that's, like, a really fun design perspective to come from, is, like, I can
Yeah.
kinda build whatever I want and, like, turn you into whatever kind of alien I want. Like,
Yeah.
who else really does that?
Right. And often
Um,
I feel like by adding rather than
always
like
adding.
demanding a model
Yes. I
like
would say
shrink or
Rick
take
Owens
something away.
yeah,
Yeah.
Rick Owens, I would say, is very much not about subtracting, but, like, expanding exponentially
Yeah.
from the body. Like, he wants to make you taller, wider, fatter, like, all of the
Mhm.
above, like, just pumping up the shape. into whatever shape he wants you to be that season, I guess. But anyway, so I've been thinking about it since then, and then there's this OnlyFans model and influencer, Camila Araujo. I'm probably saying her name wrong as well. I don't, people always comment on me pronouncing things wrong, and I'm like, well, I'm a person who lives on the internet. Like, I'm barely ever speaking aloud.
Yeah.
So this is my first time on planet Earth
Sorry we
saying
read
anyone's
so
name.
much.
Yeah, sorry, I read so much bullshit on the internet. That makes it sound like I'm a Rudite. I'm like literally reading gossip websites all day. Sorry. Anyway, I became kind of obsessed with her a couple months ago because she came on my radar because I'm like a Reddit user now, and someone had posted she wore this like mini dress that was snakeskin print, but it had kind of a turtle shell quality to it. I put it in the newsletter, maybe you've seen it. But the
Oh,
neckline
yeah.
came up really high and it was
Mhm.
like rock hard, like exoskeleton. And she just looked very silly walking around in it. And I really liked it. And then, so I've been like tapping in on her occasionally, just seeing what she's up to fashion wise. And she recently has been wearing fully inflatable outfits. Like the whole garment is totally ballooned. And like, I know it's just so complicated with her because it's like, I know that she's doing this stuff for engagement bait because it like upsets people. You know what I mean? It upsets
Right.
people and they click through and then they're like, oh, she's an OnlyFans model. Oh, I should go look
Yeah,
at her
yeah.
OnlyFans. Like, it's a perfect little racket she has going over on Instagram. But like some of her fashions genuinely are really good and like really thought provoking. And I do feel like these inflatable costumes are one of them. Like they do remind me of the Halloween costumes, I guess, where people like dress up as sumo wrestlers or they like are riding
Oh,
a
yeah.
horse.
Mhm.
It's very much that, but
There's
like
like
I
a
would,
top half, bottom half sort of like okay,
yeah.
yes.
Except I do believe that hers are all made out of latex. So I
Well, it
think they're
sort of reminds me of like a kink-based trend that you
yes.
called at the beginning of the year, which was like maybe the
Yeah.
opposite of this?
The opposite. Yeah,
Yeah.
the suction beds
Yes, yes,
of
yes, yes.
being, like, sandwiched between it's
Yeah.
literally
This
the
is like
exact opposite
reverse
of that.
suction bed,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is a reverse suction bed garment. I'm sure there's, like, a real kink name for them, that I don't know, but, yeah, there is something kink adjacent to it because it does seem like someone's fetish, or it feels like it's, like, latex plus inflatables plus, like, a feeder fetish almost?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, like
you're literally
yeah.
ballooning.
Well, like inflatable balloon latex makes me just think of condom. This
Yeah.
is condom
Yeah,
dressing.
that too. And then again, like for an OnlyFans model, I think it's like kind
Yeah.
of a clever
Yeah.
play on like the figure you are anyway, but you're doing it in like a conceptual fashion way. And I just think it's super interesting. And I think honestly, what takes these outfits that she's wearing to me from like these standard Halloween costumes into like something more highbrow is honestly she's posting these videos of her like weeble wobbling down the stairs in them. And there's something about to me about seeing the garment in motion and like how laborious it is that actually makes it a more interesting and compelling aesthetic movement.
Mhm.
Like the overcoming of an obstacle or like I don't know like
Yeah.
kind of like the wardrobe malfunctions inherent in it or something. Like I
Right.
don't know, it seems like there's a threat to the person wearing it. There's a threat that it could get popped. There's something about
Yeah.
seeing these things in motion and I don't know, I was also thinking about, like, modernity is largely about, like, living a frictionless existence, and so there's something compelling about watching someone intentionally put something on that causes so much friction
Right.
in
Yeah.
their life. And I was thinking about that too with, like, another trend that I've been talking about in the newsletter is, like, restricting, famous people's arms so that
Yes.
they can't
Yeah.
use them, and it's like right, what's compelling about that is, like, the creating a problem when there was no problem for people who never have any problems. Like, I think there's something
Yeah.
really compelling about that, that you can kinda
I
get
think so
wrapped up in.
too. I like that a
So,
lot.
I've just really been enjoying the way that she's been laying that out, and yeah, I don't know, also just interesting I think this is something I've kind of been talking about for years now, but, like, with the build-a-body movement, with all of these kind of, like, shaped garments, like, it's always just interesting to me the way that we are quite literally expanding in fashion as we're physically shrinking.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, it's kinda like that Emily Ratajkowski photo shoot where she's wearing the
Yes, with the
giant pants.
jeans.
Yes.
I love her in the giant pants. So
Mhm.
funny, the Jenny Craig
Where
ad.
it's like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
for no
okay, so you
reason.
can make giant pants, but just
Right.
only as a spectacle on a very
Exactly.
thin person.
Exactly. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that was the conversation too around a lot of the Build-A-Body stuff and a lot of the like big geometric shapes is like, oh, so you could accommodate a large
Yeah.
body,
Yeah.
but you just don't want to, which is always the truth about fashion. They know how. People are always trying to argue about like how it costs more or whatever. It's like no, it doesn't. It literally doesn't. It's that also like fractions of a penny more,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you understand
No,
how
that's
much
not a good excuse.
money, how much revenue brands are making compared to the cost of production. But
Plus, it's like if you just expanded your size range, you'd make
you'd
so
make a
much
ton
more
more.
money.
Yes, because everybody is outside of the size range that you literally all
Yeah.
Americans are outside of the size range you currently offer, so, yeah, they
Yeah.
make a ton more money, it's very silly.
Terrible excuse.
Um, oh, yeah, and also, my last thing about the blow up inflatable fashion is I was also just thinking, like, maybe this is how I finally get my temporal fashions on the red carpet because I could
Mhm.
see, like, if you had an inflatable
Deflating.
dress that was slowly leaking as you walk down the red carpet and
Yeah.
deflating and, like, it's collapsing in on you, and I was thinking about the way bouncy castles collapse in on the people inside and, like, I don't know, the panic, the
Yes.
stress, the, like, chaos that ensues, and it's like, I don't think that could be very captivating.
Yes. Oh, I hope it happens.
Well, I'm always hoping, fingers crossed.
Um, you brought this up to me, and I wasn't going to talk about it, but then I was like, okay, we need to talk about it. The Swan Mirror
Yeah,
sponsored bachelorette party. I
yeah,
had heard like
it's
rumblings of this, but I guess it's gotten like huge. A lot of people are talking about this
a lot
bachelorette
of
party.
traction. Well, because I think that a lot of people the level of, money,
Yes.
I think got a lot of people's attention, like the
Yeah.
private jet and the private yacht of it all for this random influencer, I think got a lot of people's attention, and then
Yeah.
I think a lot of people had never heard of Swan Beauty before, so that
Mhm.
additionally, they were kinda like, "What is this brand, and, like, why does it have, like, crazy money to splash out on this kinda nothing event?"
Right. So I've written a little bit about Swan Beauty before. It's essentially an AI smart mirror. It costs $795. Pretty creepy. Why people are talking about them now is that I'm not smart. I was going to say smart water. Smart water? Swan Beauty. Swan mirror? Swan Beauty? Swan
Swan
Beauty.
Lake?
Swan Beauty sponsored a bachelorette party for the influencer Bridget Feelong, who goes by the handle Acquired Style. She also owns a clothing brand with her sister called Fifi. And yeah, Swan sponsored her bachelorette party in St. Bart's and flew her and 16 guests there in a private jet. So a lot of people were like, how can this new company, because Swan just launched in like July, afford a private jet and a St. Bart's villa and all the swag? Because every attendee got their own like $800 mirror too. So the
The least they could
founder,
do.
I know, the founder is this woman, Colby Mitchell. The company is owned by Mitchell Family Office, which is owned by Mark Mitchell, who is Colby's husband. This brand, Mitchell Family Office, also acquired Cosbar, which is a beauty retailer, so that they could sell products from Cosbar through the Swan Mirror. So they're making money that way too. But the Mitchell Family Office's bread and butter is that it invests in pharma, in hospice care, in psychiatric care. It's got like a
Mm.
lot of ties to the medical industry. And
Okay.
Swan Beauty is just like this woman's passion project, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
The family is so wealthy that the private jet used for the bachelorette party is their own family private jet. So they didn't
Of
have to rent
course
a private jet. They just
of course it
have
is.
a private jet.
They're
Um,
saving money, actually.
exactly, exactly. Um, so Glossy reported on this a little bit, and they wrote that although rumors flew on social media about the funding the brand had secured, one reel referenced a $12.5 million investment. Mitchell confirmed that she self-funded the company and said $2.5 million was definitely not enough to fund the company. So it's taken a lot more to get Swan going. But so the founder of Swan connected with this influencer with Acquired Style through a brand building company that they both work with called the Leo Group. And they were
Okay.
sort of like set up at a dinner to talk about their brands and like women supporting women and how
Synergy.
they could connect, you know?
Yeah.
And then this like sponsored bachelorette party came along.
Organically, naturally.
Organic. They literally used the word like, oh, this is such an organic. natural partnership.
It's organic because their brand agency organically set them up for dinner so they could organically plan a
Mhm.
SpawnCon event together. I
It
don't
just
know what you don't
happens,
understand.
you know?
Yeah, it's 2
I just also
friends.
find it hard to believe that, like, people want to use this mirror. Like,
I
when
don't
I
think
think
they
of what I
do.
want technology to do, having a smart mirror with AI and augmented reality features is not something that I care about.
But like you
Um,
said, it just seems like it's this woman's, like, vanity project that, like, she comes from, like, this big pharma money family, and
right.
they're like, "Cool, have your, like, cute little AI mirror, like, we can lose money on that." Like, again, what is
But they've put
$3,000,000?
a lot into it. So here is
But
what
I
the
think they
mirror
have a
does.
lot, you know what
They
I mean?
have a
Again,
lot,
I
yeah.
think that they can just, like, pump money into this thing that's, like, kind of a flop and then, like, peg some influencers to it, and they're like, "See, people like it,"
I
and then
know.
maybe they sell a couple. I don't know, with all these kind of AI tech mirrors, I'm just like, are these people who want this you know, and there's that fitness one too,
Yes.
and
The
I'm just
yeah.
like, who's using this? Like, who are these people? I don't know any I've never met anyone who has a smart mirror like this.
No, me either.
I'm
And
very
I
curious about their market share.
the like I don't know if it's exactly SpawnCon or advertorials or just seeding the product to editors at different beauty platforms, but I would say about like a month or two ago there was a big wave of Swan Beauty mirror reviews
Nice.
everywhere on like
See through
Coveteur,
beauty
on
gifting.
Birdie, Zoe
Yeah.
Report, whatever. And all of the reviews were very positive from these editors.
Well, they were gifted, so they
Yeah,
better be positive.
exactly. But okay, so what the mirror does, it does AI skin scanning. So it evaluates your skin for wrinkles, texture, oil, sunspots, hyperpigmentation, acne, and it gives you a score out of 100.
Great, gotta gamify it. Yeah.
It's got a smart makeup artist. So it uses augmented reality to overlay tutorials directly onto your reflection in the mirror. And it tells you how to apply makeup like based on your specific bone structure. So,
Okay.
eugenics is programmed into
Alright.
the system. And then there's like a shoppable marketplace. So it'll promote products that tells you
Sure.
you need based on your
That are
reflection,
paying
and you
them
can
to
just
be
buy
promoted.
them right through the mirror. Yeah. Well, it's the same company that owns
Right. Right.
them.
Right. Right.
And then it also has a content studio feature. So it has lighting and recording capability so that you can film like really high quality get ready with me's in the smart mirror.
Oh,
I
d
know.
I assume I mean, I feel like you're probably also when signing some weird contract that's like, "We can kinda film you
Oh,
at any time, and we can
okay.
use that footage for anything we want."
So here is what I want to say about that. One of the
'Kay.
reasons that I hate this is because it's just like a self surveillance machine, but also just a
Yes.
regular surveillance machine. It collects your data through your images. It
Right. I
films you.
didn't even
It's
think about
getting
that.
biometric like feedback from your skin every time you scan your skin. It's getting like
Right.
your face. So I actually signed up for the app today because not only does Swan have the mirror hooks up to an app, and you can use the app separately.
And
And
let me
the app,
guess, the app has a subscription.
yeah, $9.99 a
Of
month,
course, it's the Peloton model,
and I
naturally.
signed
Okay.
up, baby.
Yeah,
And
nice.
so when you sign up for it, it links to like in the terms of use thing, it clicks a link to the biometric data and use consent page for you to click through and read through before you consent and sign up. But
Mhm.
when you click on biometric data use and consent, it links out to the generic about page and has no information about how that data is used and who it is shared with. I like took screenshots of it because I was so
Wow.
shocked. I know. So who knows where all this data
Wow, because
is going?
I always forget about, like, the biometric data of it
Yeah.
all. Like, my first impulse is always, like, if something has a camera, like, that footage is being used for something and sold to
Mhm.
something
Mhm.
nefarious. You know what I mean? Like, the same way Ring cameras, it's like, right, cops in most states are, like, allowed to tap into Ring cameras and just, like,
Yeah.
watch through them even if there's not, like,
Mhm.
a crime currently happening in front of them. And so I always just assume, like, if you have a camera, someone's gonna tap into it and watch you and then sell that, but right, the biometric data of it all, it's like it also I don't know, it seems like a logical extent like, they got us here because we already feel this way about our data on the internet, like,
Yeah.
actually, our data is, like, the most incredibly valuable thing that we have, and, like, in America, for some reason, we've just decided that like company, it's not ours. We don't own it. Like companies own it and they're
Mhm.
welcome to just collect it and sell it at will, which is like obviously the EU has all
Yeah.
these laws against that now
Yeah.
because it should be your own. But it's like, right. So because we already have that mindset, I don't know, it just makes so much sense to me that also with like our own bodies, we're like, oh yeah, yeah, you can have that data. Like what the hell are you gonna do with it?
Right. We're just so used to it. This
Why
is
do I
like
care? Yeah, what am I gonna do with it? Why would I wanna protect that?
every
It's like,
app
well,
that we are on is collecting our data, and it just doesn't
yeah,
seem that scary anymore. Um,
yeah,
but it is. I mean, I just feel like it's like, of course, our like deranged, dysmorphic dystopia has birthed AI mirrors that people are actually using. You get like messages on the screen. It'll say
no,
like, give
don't talk to
yourself.
me.
No, it doesn't even say give yourself. I misspoke. It says give your reflection a compliment today.
Whoa,
I know.
that's so interesting that it's
I
divorcing your
know.
reflection from you as a person.
I know, which is actually like good, I think.
Yeah, yeah, because it's
Um,
like, well, this is an altered thing that we've made up that has nothing to
yeah.
do with you, so, like, compliment this fake version of you we've created in your reflection, you
Yeah.
know?
It's
That's kind of
very odd.
healthier.
It's much healthier, although a lot about this mirror is not healthy at
Right,
all.
I mean, if
I
you're
think
using the mirror, it's not good, but if you
I
have to be
mean,
using the mirror.
the thing that I'm like most intrigued by is faceless AI chatbots. We already have some data that they trigger, what researchers are calling AI psychosis by
Mhm,
mirroring your language back to you. And I'm just
yeah,
like, what are the consequences of turning the AI into a literal mirror that mirrors you and talks to
yeah.
you? Like, I just wonder what this is going to do to us. It feels like a mental breakdown waiting to happen.
For sure, and also, I imagine a lot of them I don't know if there's, like, a clinical word for this. I don't know, I'm just thinking about, like, orthorexia, like, there's just, like, this inability to ever be
Yes.
as perfect or as clean or as precise. I guess it's this, like, digital doppelganger version of yourself. Seems like
Well,
psychosis.
there is research starting for a clinical term. They're calling it cosmetic orexia or
Nice.
dermorexia in the literature, and dermorexia I coined. So they just started studying this
Nice.
year based on
That's
articles that came out
amazing.
around dermorexia, which I had been writing about for years. So we're
Bro,
starting to get some data on this as an actual like mental health
you need to be bragging about that more.
challenge.
That's fucking crazy.
Well,
Like, put it on your business card.
I do want to brag about it more, but I got so much hate in the beauty industry for um, you
You
know,
coined a word.
I know, but it was
You
like,
coined a
this is
term that's, like,
normal.
rampant.
This is
It's not.
girlhood.
It's
This is
not,
girlhood. And
though.
you're, what's the word that I'm trying to think of? Like, not stigmatizing, but like diagnosing normal behavior,
Oh.
but
Oh, pathologizing.
pathologizing girlhood.
Yeah,
But no, that's not what I'm
you're
doing.
literally not, and this
No,
isn't about girlhood, this is about
no.
technology's, like, intervention in our
Mhm.
self-conception and, like, the mental problems that it creates. I think that's, like, very obviously legitimate,
Yeah. So they're
and I think it's
studying it.
cool.
They're
I
studying
support
it.
you.
Thank you. Luckily, I don't care about this stuff, but if I did,
Yeah.
I would 100% have a mental breakdown because let me tell you, I did a skin scan on the Swan app of
No.
myself. I wanted to see what it was going
What's
to
your
tell me.
score?
I got a 90 out of 100, which I was
Okay,
like,
girl.
"Oh, that's pretty good." But then it overlays your image with like little dots and hotspot areas, and you cycle through where it highlights your hyperpigmentation, your acne, texture issues, sunspots, and wrinkles. Like maybe I can pull it up and show you on
I would
here.
love to see.
But
I
I
wanna put my
I
face through
mean,
it now. I'm
it's also
excited.
just like
I
a
wanna get
truly
ranked.
terrible photo of me in my leopard print head thing after the
Amazing.
shower. But like here, it's those are
Oh, wow.
my hyperpigmentation areas.
Wow.
Where's the other one? There's like texture hot spots. I don't know if you can see it.
Wow. I can see it.
Redness,
Whoa.
acne, just like it.
And this is on a 90,
And this
mind
is
you.
on a 90. So I don't know if it's like vanity scoring or what, but I'm like, if I cared about those things, I I think it's like a
Yeah,
mental breakdown waiting to happen to be like, oh, this AI just put a green dot over every
right.
area of my face that has a problem and it's actually my whole face.
And also just like, I think inherently the putting a number on it, it's like, oh, well, so you're saying I could be 10 points higher. And then like
Uh-huh.
this obsession with like getting more points and like building it up, right? I can see how that would become a endless feedback loop.
I
Also,
know.
is this not like exactly the same idea that Deepak Chopra is doing?
Right? It sounds very similar. It's
It
just more
sounds
beauty
very
focused
similar.
and like health and wellness focused, and there's not like mental health
I see.
aspects to it. But yeah, I think it's all part of the same sort of like AI dystopia that's
They want us to have an AI
happening
doppelganger so bad.
so bad. And it,
Like,
like
what
the
if there's just
saddest
one
thing
of me?
is, I know. The saddest thing to me is that this seems to really have worked for Swan.
Of course.
Um, the brand's total impressions across TikTok and Instagram after this bachelorette party surged 3,800% to
Whoa.
19.9 million views in the past week. Engagement surged 11,000%. They
Wow.
earned 1.7 million in earned media, 2,700% increase in Google search traffic, 4,000% increase in app downloads, and subscription signups rose 1,900%. So
That's wild.
they captured a lot of people, and I really hope that this is not like
Yeah.
the new thing that everyone's going to be getting.
That's very wild, but also, can I just say when 0 people are Googling you, it's easy
Yes,
to
yes.
have a 1,900% growth or whatever.
Completely. But they
Those
did have
numbers look
this
a lot
big
crazier.
press run a couple months ago, so who
Yeah.
knows? Who
Yeah.
knows?
It's just a very
But yeah.
interesting little a corner of the influencer world, a new development that was happening, and so I had to ask your opinion on it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are also upset about like the commodification of wedding stuff and just like
Wow.
a brand sponsoring your wedding,
Is that not just
but
weddings? Like, what?
I don't care. Like that doesn't bother me. I'm planning a wedding right now and I'm like, maybe I can buy some coverage in order to get a discount on the venue, you know?
That's
I
right.
Hey.
Fishwife.
Mhm. Fishwife,
Fishwife, it's
call
time to
me.
collab.
Wedding
Also,
favors?
like, what do they expect from an influencer? Also, like, is
Yeah,
that
like
not
this
kind of their
is
whole thing, commodifying
the
every
job.
event and getting a brand sponsor to pay
Yeah.
for it? Like, I thought that was just kind of the thing.
Yeah. Doesn't bother me any more than regular beauty influencer stuff
I
bothers me.
assume that any time I'm ever seeing a brand logo or hearing mention of a specific product, someone is getting paid to sell it to me.
Yeah.
I don't assume anything is organic or anything is happening naturally anymore on the internet because it isn't.
No. Nope.
I mean, just look
Except
at TikTok.
except for the meeting between Acquired Style and Colby Mitchell. That was
Well,
organic.
that was organic. That was natural. That's the true thing left in this world. Can an influencer sit down with a brand founder and have a nice meal, huh?
Yeah.
Without it
Can't
being
women support
spawned.
women?
That's right. The last thing that I just want to talk about before we move on is I just thought it might be interesting to have a little talk about cuteness.
Yeah. We had a really fun book club the other day. We at the Lowbrow Book Club,
Yeah.
which if you aren't signed up, Emily and I do a book club together once a month. We pick a new book. We get together at the end of the month on Zoom and discuss it with
It's
readers,
really
and
fun.
it's really fun. Everyone's so smart and cool. But we read Our Aesthetic Categories by CN Oh yeah, this month, and we just had our discussion. We focused on her chapter on cuteness.
And I know that it's like text that you constantly cite in your work, but this was my first time reading it and it really I don't know. She rocked my world.
Yeah,
She is such an interesting perspective. I've genuinely it's funny because as someone who like my whole business is aesthetics, I really haven't like thought very much philosophically, I guess, about the
yeah,
nature of aesthetics and how they're used and that like I don't know that they could be leveraging so many different things and ideas beyond simply the aesthetic nature of them. I guess was kind of surprising
right.
to me.
I
Yeah.
know. No, I know what you mean. And cuteness in particular for Nye is a product of consumerism and
Yeah.
capitalism and consumer culture. Um, commodification, production, and circulation. And it's, really interesting to see how, like, you can't really separate cuteness, the cute object, from production and commodification.
Yeah, and she just maps cuteness onto capitalism in a way that I've genuinely never considered. And also, while I was reading, I kept thinking this was like the craziest thing to me about our book club is that like you and I don't have some like grand master plan of like which books we're reading and why and like how they relate to
No.
each other, where it's truly just vibes based and like, oh, like I've always wanted to read that, we should read that. And then I just keep finding with like each book that we read that they are building on each other in this
Yes.
like really insane way. And while I was reading the cuteness chapter where she's talking about kind of the industrial revolution and the rise of capitalism creating this weak aesthetic category of cute as a means of like selling things, I'm thinking about, well, both Angela Davis, which we've talked about before, of like
Mm-hmm.
Angela Davis mapping similarly onto the Industrial Revolution, like the rise
Yeah.
of like civil rights as well as women's rights and like how those are all intermingled in this moment. And then I was also thinking about Naomi Klein and Doppelganger
A
and like
lot.
the way that these cute figures often stand in as doppelgangers for ourselves, both in our obsession like wanting to be them and in like our obsession with wanting to destroy them. Both feels like
Mm-hmm.
projections of like feelings about self onto the
Yes.
object in a
Yes.
crazy way. And even it tracks onto our book Cultish because like cute, as we talked about in the book club, like the category of cute, like a cute object, elicits from the viewer like a certain mode of speech. Like your
Mm-hmm.
speech becomes cutified. And in Cultish, we learned that like that is the makings, like level one for
Yes.
starting a cult is you start
Yes.
creating its own kind of like sub language.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, wow,
Yeah.
cute is a cult.
Yeah. Oh my God. The cult of cuteness. Oh my God. We
The
should
cult of cute.
email Amanda and be like, let's do a podcast episode on the
Absolutely.
cult of cute. I was actually slightly removed from cuteness. I was just thinking, like, how relevant our random book picks from the past couple of months have
Yes.
been to current
Yes.
events.
That too.
Um, so we read Females by Andrea Long Chu, which has a
Yes.
lot in it about bimboism.
Yeah.
And then Christy Nome's
We
husband
got the
with
bimbo.
the big bimbo, quote unquote, scandal. I
I
thought
know.
like that timing was pretty wild. And then
I
I
know,
don't
I'm
know if you
also
read. Oh,
sorry.
no,
I'm
no.
also, like, actually, I've been thinking about writing this essay. I'll probably write it hopefully this week for interview, where I just weirdly, I was, like, connecting the dots between all these different, like, manosphere movements because we just interviewed, maybe you don't know this guy, but there's this guy on TikTok called Anwar White, and he recently coined this phrase, "catching print." Have you heard of this?
No.
It's apparently according to him, like, this is something in the queer community that's, like, always been happening, and he just, like, put a name to it and, like, made a structure for how you do it. But catching print is basically, like, looking at a man's crotch and knowing exactly how big his
Oh,
dick
yes.
is.
Okay, yes. Hmm.
And so a lot of the pushback on catching print is that it's objectification of men. Like, and men are getting treated the way women have always been treated about their
Yeah.
breast size. And
Hmm.
so I was thinking about that, and then I was just like thinking about all the other manosphere movements we've talked about and kind of like connecting this dot of like, right, so like men are experience objectification of their genitals in a way women have like always experienced and are being treated that way. And then we have like clavicular and looks maxing, obviously, and kind of like this very submissive, traditionally feminine role that men are being put in. And then I was thinking about the manosphere and like Andrew Tate and this like disgust with women as like women are only to fuck, but like their vaginas are disgusting. That's a direct quote.
Hmm. Hmm.
And like you just fuck them and you want to go back to your bros because that's who you really have these like deep emotional
Yeah.
bonds with. And I don't know, I was just connecting it all to like I don't know. I think my title or like my thesis is basically like men are the new women. Like they're experiencing all these like traditional female roles and
Oh,
I
completely.
using females the book as like a lens through
Yeah.
which to see it all. I don't
That's
know.
exactly why I wanted to read Females. It was like looks
Yeah.
maxers 100%. I feel like
Right.
female completely, it like gets a new angle on the phenomenon that
Yes.
hasn't really been covered that much yet.
Yeah.
So I really want to read that. I don't know. Did you read
Yeah.
the actor from The Pit, Supriya Ganesh, wrote an essay
Yes.
for Vulture, My Strange
Yes.
Dysphoria, and
Yes.
they wrote about the phenomenon of transvestigation gaining
Yes.
steam and how it's affecting women of color more than white women because they're like masculinized in the culture. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is Women, Race, and Class by Angela
That's what
Davis. Like
Angela
all of
Davis.
this, so many like pop culture
Yeah.
moments happening right now just happen to align with our reading picks.
Yeah.
And it's felt so good to be like, yes, I know what this is about.
Yes, and also, I mean, like, obviously, I appreciate Angela Davis so much too, because it's like she's making those connections and she's like, "It's not an accident."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Which I just, like,
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that historical perspective
Yeah.
of, like, no, that trend that you're noticing that's predominantly happening to, like, women of color, she's like, "Right, that's intentional, that comes from slavery, like, here you
Yeah.
go, like, here's the exact pinpoint moment I can point to of, like, why this
Mm-hmm.
ideology started, and you can see how it warped through time and, like, adapted to like the age we're living in, but it's the exact same racism from slavery all over again. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're not real women because they need to work with the men in the field, you know? And they're
Yeah.
not real women because they're being raped. And so you have to like as we talk about in cuteness, like the thingification, it's like you're
Yeah.
removing the humanity from them in order to like
Right. Right.
treat them
Right.
as object.
Yes. Yeah. I think cuteness is like strangely relevant right now too. I know in our group we talked a lot about like Labubu's and trad wives. There's like a connection there. I
Yeah.
was thinking a ton about the Starface mascot and I guess just pimple
Yes.
patches in general as an aesthetic of cuteness. But yeah, there's just like a lot relevant to the cute aesthetic right now.
Or even it just occurred to me, hold on, let me just Google this to make sure I'm saying the right name. Yes, it was I just occurred to me it's Gremlins. Gremlins are like the perfect
Oh
cute
yeah. Mm-hmm.
because right at nighttime or they get wet and then suddenly they're like these evil demon creatures, but like they want you to be their mommy and they want you to take
Yes.
care of them and like that is the perfect I feel like cuteness archetype.
Mm-hmm. Yes. There's a great part in the cuteness chapter of our aesthetic categories where Nye talks a little bit about the kawaii aesthetic in
Yes.
Japan and talks about how
Insane.
similar the word is to, I think, kawaii, which means scary, and
Yes.
uses that to kind of show the duality of cuteness and aggression, like how violence or something scary is always part of the
Yes.
cute object. And Gremlins is such a good example of that.
Yes, and also that, like, it's, like, part of the cuteness is, like, the sublimation of that terror. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
like, you knowing that it's right behind the veil of this, like, sweet, innocent thing and could come out, but it's, like, not bringing that out because it loves you or something. Like, that is
Yeah.
also part of the dynamic. And,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I talked about this at length in the book club meeting, but, the kawaii section to me was, revolutionary.
Yeah.
She just basically, she connects kawaii and its proliferation in Japan as like a response to World War II and
Mhm.
like and the atomic bombs and Japan kind of no
Right.
longer being this world power in like quite an obvious like physical way.
Mhm.
And so the response to that being like okay, like we create this aesthetic of cute and like kind of diminish ourselves, we sublimate ourselves in a way
Yeah.
to these other like world powers, but actually the cuteness of kawaii ends up being a soft power that like culturally has taken over the world. Like
Mhm.
everything is kawaii now.
Mhm.
And it's just like
Completely.
and that too being like the duality of cute is like it seems like this innocent nothingness and it is
Right.
actually like nefariously seeping into every like nook and cranny of society like
Mhm.
as Nye also like suggests that cuteness right is closely related with consumption both like it consuming us consuming them but and in that has like a very powerful link to capitalism and yeah I think I forgot where I was going with that.
Well, I think one of my favorite things about this chapter was the talk about personification of objects and the thingification of people, which we were
Yeah,
talking about a little bit earlier with like the dog thing and the chicken thing.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, CNI has like this really excellent explanation for as we sort of anthropomorphize objects more, we're almost bringing them closer into equal status
Mm,
with humans, and there ends up being this thingification of the person where we want to become more like the object, and part of the cute aesthetic is an identification, wanting to be just like the cute object or wanting the cute object to be just like
like
us.
us
um
hence
yeah,
chickens.
Hence chickens. Hence chickens.
But also we were just saying in book club, it's like, isn't I don't know, like it's funny, this thingification, and meanwhile we have like so basically they're saying that like if you don't kind of mitigate the thing with the cuteness, it becomes uncanny valley, like it becomes too human-like, which creeps
Yeah.
us out because then we think that there isn't this power differential between ourselves and the object, like suddenly we're on equal playing field and like that's bad and we don't like that. And I don't know, in book club we were just talking about like, isn't that funny? Because AI, they're like not trying to do anything to make it not uncanny valley, like, they're not even putting this guise of cuteness over it to make us feel more
Yeah.
comfortable with it, they're just, like, full onslaught, like, the horror of, like, a
Mhm.
humanoid interacting with
Yeah.
you.
Yes, the uncanny horror is like
Yeah.
part of it. But we're going to be reading next month the chapter of our aesthetic categories on the zany aesthetic,
Yeah.
which is so fun and so mess. Like
Yeah.
Emily, I can't wait for you
I
to
know,
read
I'm
this
so
and
excited.
hear what comes
Literally,
up for you.
you should see in the introduction because we also read the introduction as well as the cute chapter for this month, and you should see my notes in the introduction. Every time Zany is mentioned, I'm, like, underlining and
Yes.
highlighting, I'm like, "This is me! Like, this
Yes.
is my part!"
Yes. 100%.
And so
I
I'm
think
very
she
interested.
described zany as an aesthetic where work and play collapse into each other, and like this line
Yes.
between labor and leisure are
Yes.
really blurred, and there's a lot beauty wise there too.
Totally, and like I was saying in book club, I just think, like, that is kind of the definition of celebrity fashion,
Hmm.
like,
Yeah.
obfuscating the intense labor that goes into all of it and making it seem, like, playful and joyous in this way that's, like, actually
Yeah.
very bleak and dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just am very excited. I
I
think it's gonna be good.
wonder I wonder if Coachella aesthetic could be considered an
Mm,
offshoot of zany. Labor and leisure,
that's very
recording the
interesting.
content, you know?
Yeah. I'm also curious, I mean, we haven't read the chapter, so I don't know, but I'm curious if she gets into kind of, like, where camp exists within the zany universe or like
Can't
pastiche or like
remember.
kitsch and stuff because that to me feels like within zany, but I don't know,
Yeah. I know she
slightly off.
writes a bunch about like almost like gestures, like the
Well,
zany,
it's clown
a
core season,
zany. I
baby.
know exactly. I didn't know this, but in like I don't know, Renaissance period maybe before, a zany was kind of like a jester. It was like this
Okay.
court person where you could be. It was your job to be a little
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think there's going to be some Pagliacci core references
Amazing.
in there too.
Amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. Anyway, so we all say that just to say if you want to read with us, get into it. There's
Yeah,
plenty of
lowbrow
time.
book club.
And the
Um,
reading's not too long. I will say
no,
it's can be dense
yeah.
and tough to parse at times, but it's not long and you can do it. And the trick that I learned, honestly, again, why I'm so glad we read Simulacrum and Simulation first is
Mm,
because our group taught me the best trick for reading dense text, which is read aloud. And
yeah.
it
Oh,
really
yeah.
reading this book aloud to myself has really helped so much me understand what
Mhm.
the hell I'm reading.
I gotta try that.
It's so helpful, it's so weird. I think it just, like, forces your brain to focus,
Yeah,
so you, like, can't have, like, a rogue thought while you're
yeah,
reading this, there is no room for rogue thoughts, like, you
yeah.
better be locked
You
in.
gotta be paying attention. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good. Another good month at the Lowbrow Book Club. But should we move on to our big discussion of the day, which is Biebercella.
Bieber mania.
Bieber mania at Biebercella.
Absolutely.
Um, I don't really hear about Coachella. I've never like paid much attention.
Sure.
Um, and I don't have
Normal.
much thought on the
Have you ever
performance.
been?
No, I've been a stagecoach once.
Oh, interesting. Why?
Courtesy of Botox. Botox Cosmetic sent me on a press
Damn.
trip to
You need to
Stagecoach.
disclose that. You're
Oh, I've
compromised.
written about it so much. Yeah, I
Very
wrote so many articles using stuff that I got from Botox on that trip,
damn.
and I think that they were like, "Thanks for the press," even though every article I wrote was, I think, not positive.
I mean,
But
I'm sure Botox does not
I
care.
mean,
I
this was
mean,
back in like 2018. These were all
I
on
don't
like
I feel
fashionista.com.
like Botox probably thinks if people are talking, it's good. I mean, like, I
Yeah.
don't think they care.
Have you been to
I
Coachella?
I have, yeah.
Oh,
I
when?
went once with Reebok.
Oh, okay. Look at us. Look at us at our little
It
sponsored
was
trip.
a nightmare. I hated
I
it.
can only imagine.
The whole time I was there too, I just kept thinking, I was like, "You are doing this in, like, the bougiest way possible." You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
Reebok splashed the hell out. Like, we had private buses to and from the event. We were, like,
Mhm.
in the VIP section or whatever. They gave us credit cards to get food, like, we had a little
Damn.
villa we were, like, staying in or whatever, and I was like, "This
Okay.
is literally the fanciest way to possibly do this event, and I hate every living moment of it." I was like, "It's not for you, girl. Like, just give up the idea of Coachella. Like, it's not a
Yeah,
good fit."
not
But
a
it
good
was
fit.
I mean, it was informative. It does feel like I'm happy to have seen what's happening
Experienced
there.
it, yeah.
Yes, because
Yeah,
I just think knowing what it's like on the
yeah,
ground is very different than the photos you see of it.
yeah.
It's like a very punishing, weekend is how I would describe it.
Yeah, I think that's
It's like
accurate.
everything about it, because it's like it's even in a place that feels like humans aren't supposed to be there. You know what I mean? Like, it's
No,
just too hot. It's
it's
too hot,
too
it's too
hot.
windy, so it's
Mhm,
also dusty as hell, and
mhm.
then I don't know, and then everything costs $1,000,000. A bottle of water is $30, that's not even a joke.
Oh my god.
So it's like, everything about to me is like, we're not supposed to be here doing this.
No,
Nobody wants us
no,
here.
this
And
is
also, it's
wrong.
insane. I could have complained about Coachella for a million years, but it's also insanely large. So you're just like
Yeah, oh my god.
walking across a field for 50 years and you're not even getting anywhere. And then you'll
Mhm.
realize you're walking in the wrong direction because the map is very confusing. And so you're like, great, I've been walking for 20 minutes in the wrong direction towards the wrong stage. Let me
Good
turn
thing you had
around.
your Reeboks on.
Oh my God. Yeah, thank God for my Reeboks. Anyway, it was very
Oh,
stupid.
man. Yeah, okay, so the reason I'm so intrigued this year is, of course, because Hailey Bieber and her beauty brand Rhode collaborated with headliner and
Yeah.
husband Justin Bieber to put out pimple patches. And Rhode has been teasing these pimple patches for a long time.
Yeah.
And after seeing Justin's set, where he basically like streamed old YouTube videos of him as a child and like sang
Yeah.
along to them, I was like, oh, this is really interesting because I've talked so much about how Hailey Bieber and Rhode are successful, not because they make products for the real world, but because they make products for the mirror world. And
Mhm.
it's all about image creation and experiencing this self through imagery.
Yeah.
So with Rode, like I would say, the mirror self or the image self that I'm talking about is the version of you that you see in like the front facing camera or in an
Yeah, yeah.
image. It's the objectified self, like an image is an object. So it's like a flattened two dimensional, like photograph or online avatar. And as the world becomes more virtual and more visual, more people start to identify with their online avatars or their like image selves more than
Right.
their real selves, like saying like I feel most like myself online. And Rode is so good at catering to that image person.
Yes.
Um, it makes products to be photographed, to appear in a customer selfie, like the branded phone cases meant to be taking selfies, that
Mhm.
the lip gloss tube. They make mirror clings,
Right.
branded under eye masks, and now the pimple patches. So these like are primo selfie material. You're
Yeah.
living through images. The pimple patches are a product for image, not
Right.
for person.
It's funny too,
Um,
because it just feels like, I mean, from a fashion person's perspective, it also just feels like beauty is going through, like, its logomania era.
oh,
Like, they just
completely.
finally figured out a way to, like, get the logo straight up on your face instead of on the
Yeah, they've
bottle of the thing that you
co-opted
put
the
on your
face
face.
as ad space
As a billboard, yeah. Which is
100%.
just, like, such a fashion idea, it's very funny.
Well, even more of a fashion idea, Rode is categorizing their pimple patches as spot wear. So it's like talking about it as if it is sort of a clothing
Right. It's
category.
activewear, yeah. Right, right,
Isn't that
right.
wild?
That is
And
wild.
I think the other thing that really struck me about this and like the digital doppelganger of it all is that none of the marketing for these pimple patches, none of the product pages, none of like the Instagrams promoting it show the after of the product. Like it says these pimple patches are supposed to make your acne spots smaller, flatter, and
Yeah.
less red. All of the promo pics are in progress pics of people wearing the patches, and you never see an example of what it might do.
I wonder if it's just because it's, like, too regulated, like,
Yeah,
like, legally, like, the before and after of it,
I
or,
don't
like,
think
making
so.
false claims or something, or, like
I don't think so. I think like
really?
everyone does that. I mean, that's like proactive 101.
I guess so. But I wonder if, like, the results I mean, I guess what I'm wondering is, like, Proactive probably actually does produce those results. I'm wondering if her product doesn't actually produce the results, so
Yeah.
they
The
legally,
thing
like,
is
can't
I
show you
don't
an
think
after.
they're not effective, like, hydrocolloid
Right,
does
right,
what
it
they
does what
say
it
it does,
does.
like, whether
Right,
that's, like, a great thing for your skin, I think is up for debate.
sure.
But,
It
like,
is an
in terms of,
effective
like,
ingredient.
doing what it says it does, like, I trust that these patches probably
Hmm,
do. It's, like, a
yeah,
pretty, like, hydrocolloid dressings are
right,
very, like, old and well known in medical settings. So I feel like they probably do what
okay.
they which is like, how often do I say that? Not
Right,
very. But
right.
I think that we're shifting away from a before and after into a before and mid or like before and in
'Cause there,
progress
like, is
because
no a after? Like, you're
yeah,
always
because the
gonna be
after is not
working?
the point. The point is wearing the patch. The point is
Right,
status signaling through the patch. Like the point
but
is the ad placement, not
yes. But
the
also, like,
after.
after implies that, like, there's a solution, like, you actually can resolve this, and, like, for beauty, it's
Yeah.
like there can never be a resolution because then you would stop buying the product, so, like, it makes sense to me to
Yeah.
eliminate the after photos because it's like, well,
Yeah.
there is no after, the after is you wearing this for
You
the rest
just
of your
keep
life.
buying this forever
Right,
and ever. And
right.
I really suspect a lot of people are putting these on non-existing
Oh, I
spots.
know they are.
This
I
is
know
not
they are.
yeah.
Well, even I'll just say anecdotally, my editorial assistant was telling me that with Starface, that she doesn't wear the Starface patch when she has a pimple. She uses like the real medical, like what is the word?
Yeah, hydrocolloid. Hydrocolloid.
Hydrocolloid. And then she said that she only uses the Starface patches once it's like healing just to like hide it.
That's so
Like,
fascinating.
but she's using it aesthetically just as like, "This looks
Yeah.
cool and cute," and that way it just hides the
Yeah.
ugliness of the healing pimple, but she's not using them for, like, the medical purpose of, like, actually fixing the pimple. I don't know, I just thought that was
That's
so
so
interesting,
wild.
and
Yeah.
then she has 2 separate kinds that she's using, like, this has this
Uh-huh.
purpose, this has an
This is
aesthetic
the
purpose, but
effective one.
separate.
This is like the pretty
Yes.
one.
Yeah. And I was like, "That's
Weird.
really actually very interesting," and I'm sure that's how most people are using them.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like,
mean, because
the
it's
ones that
about
work are for privacy, and the ones that don't work are for public.
for image creation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, yeah, I just thought that was so interesting in light of like Justin Bieber releasing this product with his wife
Yeah.
before hitting the stage. And the product is very much about the mirror self or the image self. And then his
Also,
whole
a
show.
famously proactive, spokesperson, Justin Bieber.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. And
Full
if you think
circle.
about it, his show really was a before and after
Yes.
performance. Wow.
Yes, but
Um,
also not after because
he's
in
in progress.
continuum he's in
Yeah.
progress, and he continues to put out music and continues to be an artist, so it's like a retrospective to this point, but
Yeah.
implying that, like, it doesn't end here. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just think that it was, a spectacle of the image self for husband and wife.
I love that, and also, as I wrote, I love the idea of love as a joint capitalist venture.
Yep.
Like,
You know,
marriage is co-selling and creating a product together. I think that's really
nothing more
beautiful.
romantic than that.
Yes, it's very modern. Um, also, I mean, I've the funny thing about me and Justin Bieber is I've, like, accidentally become a fan over the course of my life. I never intended to be a believer, and
But
now
you
here I
were.
find myself one. Yes, and I was thinking I literally, when we were prepping this segment, I was, like, thinking back on, like, when did this happen to you? Like, when did you get
Yeah.
so into Bieber? Because I always felt like I wasn't young enough for him when he came out. Like, he
Yes.
felt a little
Same.
babyish to me,
Yes.
and I just felt creepy to be, like, into his music and stuff as, like, someone who's, like, I don't even know, 10 years
Yeah.
older than him.
Yeah.
Um, so I wasn't into it at first, and then I feel like what got me is kind of around, well, the bad boy behavior when he was really having a public I started to be interested, like, the peeing in mop
Mhm.
buckets and stuff.
Mhm.
I was tapping in on that gossip, and then I think because I was tapping in on that gossip, I got really into his fashion. And
Yeah.
Carla Welch, who, for those who don't know, is a very, very high profile celebrity stylist, was working with him at the time. And them together, I don't know, it just was like really spoke to this moment in fashion and
Mhm.
was really like I mean, people surely know this about me, but I love a celebrity who has their own specific perspective on fashion, and it's not necessarily good, but it is so them that it's like undeniable, which is Kristen Stewart, of course, is who I'm thinking of. But I would say that Justin Bieber is very much my male Kristen Stewart because
Yeah.
he's doing something very similar where it's like,
Mhm.
that is undeniably like him. Like when he
Yes.
wears outfits, I'm like, yeah, that's
I
no
love
one
your
else.
writing on his princess pants.
Oh, I love his princess pants. For
Mhm.
those who don't know, he's been wearing like I think I've talked about it on the pod even. He's been wearing insanely long pants, just like comical, like double the length of his actual legs. And then he'll scrunch them all up and stack them on top of his shoes. Like so he has to lift them up with both
It's like
hands so he
lifting a
can just
gown.
yes, and he literally so he shared this tweet that was someone saying like, "I wanna lift up my pants like a princess lifts up her skirt going down the stairs," and he was like, "Finally, somebody gets me," and, like, once that image clicked for me, I was like, "Oh my god, the pants make so much sense to me now."
Yes.
Because I also, like, I really understand that feeling. Like, do you ever when you're, like, going up the subway steps or something, like, lift up your dress? And it
Oh,
makes
yeah.
you feel so elegant and fancy
Yes. Mhm.
even though you're doing something so stupid and I fully get what he means by that. I'm like, I hope he
Yeah.
does have his princess moments. This is
Mhm.
so random, but I also have this feeling about when you're walking around with a tiny open container, something about it feels incredibly chic and elegant to me. Like it's so
Yes.
dangerous, you know, but you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this my tiny little espresso, like
Anything
I'm
could
just
happen at any
casual like
time.
that." Yeah, but I'm
Mhm.
just chill like that. Who needs a cap? Like it's just me. I don't know, it feels the same to me as the princess pants.
Yeah.
I'm so off track now. I don't remember even where I started this conversation because I just got
I don't
lost.
know.
Oh, why do I like Justin Bieber?
Bieber. Yeah.
I think I
I
explained.
think you've explained it. I think we got it. I
Anyway,
love
so
Justin Bieber now.
that's what got me into him, and then I heard some songs I liked, and now I'm on the Justin Bieber bandwagon, and I think he's doing interesting things, even though
Yeah.
people like to I think this is kind of my pet passion too, is like, I like people that are like a cultural underdog, like, obviously my
Mm.
passion for Kim Kardashian for, like, decades is proof of that, but it's like, I think people like, when the public is underestimating the intentionality of what a celebrity is doing or, like, the depth of it or
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
that to me is always, like, the person that
Yeah.
suddenly I wanna go to bat for, and that's kind of how I'm feeling about Bieber lately. I mean, obviously, I
Yeah.
already felt that way in terms of fashion, but now I think what he's doing in terms of, like, music and performance to me seems very comparable, and it's really being dismissed
Yeah.
as, like, laziness, and it all seems so intentional to me that I
Yeah.
don't know how people don't see it.
Yeah, I agree. I saw a lot of, like, uproar about how lazy of a show it
Yes.
was, but, like, conceptually, I thought it was
I thought it was
intriguing, and it's like,
quite
I don't
intriguing.
know, who goes to see Justin Bieber and is expecting, like, a Katy Perry dancing and fireworks sort of
Totally, like,
display?
he's not
Like,
a choreography guy, like, you know, he's
feels
not ever been known for
true to him.
a crazy, like, showgirl stage experience, like, I'm
Yeah.
not really sure what people want from their performance of Justin Bieber, but also, like, it's very much in line with I can't remember what award show he performed at, was it the Grammys? When he was in his boxers? Anyway, he did a big performance at some award show where he was just in his boxers and kind of, like, making the song live almost,
Mhm.
and it felt very intimate, and there was a mirror on stage, again, the mirror
Yeah.
self, do you remember? And he was,
Yes.
like, looking at himself in the mirror, like, while he was
Mhm.
performing, and people said a lot of similar stuff about that, that it was, like, lazy, it was ill-conceived, like, he didn't put
Mm.
any effort into it, and I'm like, I'm not sure what the like, how are you not seeing the effort and the intentionality?
Yeah.
And, like, those are all choices he's actively making to make a commentary about the figure he is
Yeah.
in the world and the expectations put upon him, and also, I think this new era where he is very much like as you see in both of these cases, I think performing for himself,
Mhm.
like performing on
Yeah.
his own terms, like creating his own environment, creating how he feels comfortable to be an artist and to express himself. That is kind of sure, it is kind of I don't know. I guess the audience feels like slighted as though he's not doing it for them, but like that's kind of the point of what he's making. Is
Mhm.
like his whole
Mhm.
life has been for them, and so like, what if he took back this thing for himself? I think, and
Yeah.
like I think the outrage is kind of his point. Like, "You're
Yeah.
mad because 'cause I'm not serving myself up on a platter exactly as you want me to be," which
Mhm.
is also a yummy music video, frankly,
Yeah.
him serving himself up on a platter.
Well,
I don't know,
it
I just
also makes me think of, Doppelganger by
yes.
Naomi Klein, which we also read in the book club a couple months ago.
Yeah,
And this idea that, like, the appearance of your doppelganger in sort of any form, whether it's like the mirror on the stage or the YouTube video of Justin or like the selfies
yeah,
you're taking, she writes, it's almost always chaotic, stressful, and paranoia inducing. And I think that paranoia inducing aspect of celebrity is such a part of Justin's work now, or at least his like persona.
Yeah, absolutely.
in the public eye. So I think it's like kind of fun to be playing with these sort of doppelganger themes in his shows and like
Totally.
dealing with that tension between the you that is not you, which is your image.
Yeah, and I was thinking that quite I think that really comes to a head even in that clip of him yelling at the paparazzi that's now been like reconverted into a meme and a meme that he used of himself at the Coachella
Mhm, mhm,
performance, which is like
mhm.
it's not clocking to you,
Yeah,
which I'm sure everybody knows that reference by now. But I don't know, I just thought that was so interesting because here he is making this like really definitive public statement about the abuse that he suffered at the paparazzi, but it's like turned into this iconic meme joke.
yeah,
But it's like and he too is now reappropriating it as like a meme and a joke, but it is a very real serious thing about the position that he occupies in the world and how his image is used, how
mhm,
his doppelganger mirror self is like
yeah,
used and proliferate across the internet, right? Where even him attempting to set a boundary for himself and his family ends up turning into a joke.
yeah,
I don't know. I
yeah,
think that's very interesting. And again, a moment where like he was kind of laughed at by the paparazzi and kind of like establishment media as like
yeah,
he's crazy, he's losing it, and like everyone who watches that video, like it turned into an iconic meme because we're all like, word, like that is an appropriate response to the moment, like it's not
yeah,
clocking to them, like
yeah.
he is standing on business, you know, like I don't know.
Yeah.
And something I mean, I think what was most interesting for me about the performance to his own YouTube videos is I mean, maybe I say this as someone who is in EMDR therapy, but it seemed very much like an EMDR therapy experience because like
Oh, yeah.
harmonizing with your childhood self and like when you
Yeah.
think about all of the insane trauma from everything that
Mhm.
Justin has experienced from that age until now and like being able to go back to your childhood self before those experiences and harmonize with yourself and sing those hit songs. I don't know. It feels like what you do in EMDR therapy. Like you go
It's so
back into these
beautiful.
traumatic. I think it is kind of.
Wow.
I think it is kind of meaningful and beautiful. Like you go back and you tell your childhood self like, hey, do you know what age we are now? Like, do you know all I've been through and like how okay I am and I've like survived all that stuff and like
Yeah.
you don't need to worry about that anymore. Like I know you're holding on to all these like fears and
Mhm.
anxieties because of what you think is protection, but like I can actually protect
Yeah.
myself now. And that felt to me like what he was doing through these moments of like harmonizing. And I was thinking about it even because there's this TikTok thing that went viral. He's singing one of his, I don't know the names of any of his songs. He's singing one of those like early hit songs from when he was like a child and he's
Mhm.
singing along with his childhood self and it went viral on TikTok as a sound because you hear this moment where his singing voice changes where he goes
Yeah.
from singing along with it and kind of mocking it and being like "Brr, brr, brr," you know like this
Yeah.
stupid old song I used to have to sing all the time and then you see it kind of click with him like his fans reaction to it and like how like much they fucking love him in this song and he
Yeah.
starts singing for real on the
Yeah.
next line and people were saying they were making this meme on TikTok like oh Justin Bieber remembered he's Justin Bieber but to me I was like well I think that's quite literally true like I think he's having this
Yeah.
moment of like
Yeah.
I don't know, like, solace or like a
Mhm.
synergy or something between these two selves and like seeing that childhood self not through his own lens of the trauma that he experienced, but through the lens of his fans and how much they love that version of him and this version of him. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think there's something very healing in that and therapeutic. And yeah, I don't know. It made me think too. I used to think about this a lot when Kendrick put out that album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, that
Mhm.
has all these Eckhart Tolle interludes that he, like, mixed
Mhm.
into it, and I thought in that album I never saw anyone write about this, and I thought it was so odd, but to me, that album was so clearly, like, Kendrick going to therapy and then, like, boiling down and regurgitating, like, his big takeaways from therapy for his audience in, like, a really
Yeah.
palatable way, which is rap
Mhm.
music.
Yeah.
And that I don't know, and so this to me felt like a similar thing of Justin taking probably decades of therapy and kind of, like, boiling it down to this, like, one kind of cathartic experience, artistic
Mhm.
moment that's like, "Let me kinda just show you" I don't know, like, high
Yeah.
level therapy through art.
Yeah. I feel like his next collab with Hailey Bieber is going to be, emotional support
There you
sunscreen.
go, there you go,
Let's
exactly.
distill that therapy into a topical skincare product.
Yeah, but also just yeah, I guess my last point is just, like, also so interesting that that this performance did elicit these responses of like, oh, laziness, or like Justin
Yeah,
owes us more or something. Because I do think both that performance and like everything Justin's kind of said coming back into the spotlight again is kind of questioning like, what do celebrities owe us? Like, what are they
right.
obligated to provide us with, and what
Yeah,
are they not? You know, which I think we've long overstepped the idea of like what celebrities should be giving us of their
yeah,
personhood.
yeah.
And even the fact that the big meme is like it's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, and it's still
Mhm.
literally not clocking to us that he's
Yeah,
standing on business, because we're still like, where's the performance? Like,
yeah,
you should have
yeah,
sung this and that, and like had these fireworks go off and shit. And it's like, okay,
yeah.
right. I
Such a
don't
good
know.
point, such an iconic line.
Yeah,
It's
it is,
probably gonna
it is
define
an
the rest of his
iconic line.
career, you know?
He'll have more. I mean, I think he is quite iconic. I think he is weirdly tapped into the present moment in a way that I think he doesn't always get credit for.
Yeah. Yeah, and I same for Haley and Rhode. I don't agree
Absolutely.
with, uh,
Yo,
what they're doing a lot of the time, but
absolutely.
it's working for a reason. They are tapped
Yes.
in.
And I always think too, it's like Haley is not for me. She's not
Mhm.
like interesting to me or like my type of like celebrity figure, but I know that there are millions and millions of women in this world who like absolutely that is what they
Yeah.
identify with, and that's what they want, and they want like a weird fake Carolyn Bessette Kennedy for the digital era, and that's what
She's
she's
doing
giving
it.
it to them.
Mhm.
So you got to respect the branding,
The branding
the
is
literal branding and the
here.
figurative
I know.
branding.
She's branding your face with her branding.
Hell
Ugh,
yeah.
is it time for mess of the month?
Oh, yeah, talk about faces.
Let's get to it.
My mess of the month is Kris Jenner's tautness. It's
So
been the
taut.
talk it's been the talk of all the tabloids, and I'm obsessed with just the way that we're talking about, the language we're using to talk about her taut face. I love all of it. I do have to say first though that this was a very difficult mess of the month for me to choose,
Mm.
because just today I found out that Channing Tatum has been posting through the Zoe Kravitz engagement to Harry Styles, and you all out
Oh,
there know how I love a
he's
sad
the new
famous
Tom
man.
Brady.
Oh, you know it, and you know I love a sad famous man posting his art break on the internet just foolishly for all to enjoy, and he's really been doing. I'll talk about it in the newsletter this week, though. Don't worry. But
I
anyway,
can't wait.
so I had to put my feelings about that aside because I do
Mhm.
need to talk about Chris, because she's really been cracking me up. There's all these stories out this week that she's reportedly really pissed off that her $100,000 facelift is starting to sag. And apparently she's been comparing. I mean, how long has she had this facelift? Like over a year? A year? At least a
Really?
year.
I guess maybe a year, wow. Yeah.
Well, because I saw the Daily Mail was showing me the Daily Mail was showing me her face when it first got done, or
Okay,
like close to when it first got done, and it did say 2025 on it, but I forget what month it
okay.
was. And then it was
It
showing
must
me
be
at the
close to a
Vanity
year.
Fair after party to show me how much that the tautness
The
is waning.
slippage.
The
Mhm.
slippage, exactly, the quote unquote slippage. So apparently Chris is really mad about this, and she's been comparing her current face to those of freshly lifted starlets like Denise Richards just got a big facelift, and so she's like, "Well,
Mhm.
why is my face not as taut as Denise's?"
Yeah.
And then I learned from your newsletter this week that
Mhm.
apparently this whole story about the slippage was planted by a rival surgeon who's jealous of all the good press that Chris's surgeon, Dr. Stephen Levine, has been getting.
Yes, that was
And
reporting
that's
from,
fun.
Rachel Strugatz at Puck,
That's
who
very
gets
fun.
a lot of gossipy tidbits. So she
Yeah.
was saying, yep, sources told her it was rival surgeon.
Well, that's delightful, although I do still believe that Chris is probably upset. Like I
Yeah,
think that's both are can be true.
yeah.
I think that when you're a 70-year-old woman who's battling against the tautness of your skin, like the flagging elasticity that's like
Mhm.
flagging every day, that like it probably does upset you that you're not that there's any change in tautness ever.
Yeah,
But but I understand that it is a story planted by a rival. I just can't get enough, honestly. I just the idea and just that like a refusal to understand how gravity works or like time or aging. I just really think that's amazing and so funny. And if anyone is disconnected from reality like that, it's absolutely Kris Jenner. And
yeah.
then also kind of what I was realizing is what Kris Jenner wants from her face is like 100% immobility. So like, why not just paralyze yourself at that point?
Mm-hmm.
Like, wouldn't that be the dream of tautness? Like, if you can't
Just like
use your face,
Botox all over.
yeah, or is there something more extreme?
I don't know that there is
Like,
something more
is there
extreme.
I was thinking, like, is there a way to, like, sever nerves that, like, go to the face or something? Because genuinely what she wants is, like, she wants to pull it extremely tight and
Yeah.
then never use her face again so that, like,
Yeah.
nothing ever moves so that never has to be tautened
Mm-hmm.
again. And I was
I
like, you can
think,
only get
yeah.
that through paralysis.
Yeah. But that's what Botox does. It paralyzes your muscles.
Totally, but I think that it's not enough,
It's not enough. No, it's not
is
enough
what
for
I'm
Kris.
suggesting.
It's
I
never
think
enough for Kris.
maybe Botox can come out with, like, a Botox Pro or, like, a Botox Max, and it
Yeah.
does something to actually, like, kill off nerve endings so that you can't actually control your face anymore. Oh,
Yeah.
stroke, I guess, is what I'm
Stroke.
gesturing at.
Yes. An
Is she
aesthetic
wants an
stroke.
aesthetic stroke.
Yes.
If we could control the dimensions of the stroke and just point it to the face muscles. I
This
feel
is
like
going to be
science
like
could do that.
this. I feel like this is going to be the new lobotomy.
Yes.
Like this is the lobotomy for the
Yes,
modern
and.
age is
Yeah, and I think they'd love it, and, so I'm
medically
just
induced
putting it
stroke
out
for
there for all our
aesthetics.
doctors listening, all of
Wow.
our aesthetic derms perhaps in the audience. I think that this is maybe the future and that
I'm
people
scared that you just predicted the future.
would love it. The last thing I just want to say about Chris's face is that I wanted to bring up one of our readers during book club yesterday reminded me of this character Cassandra from Doctor who is just a flap of skin stretched tight like a drum over a metal frame, like a sentient flap of skin. And I realized that's what Kris wants. She wants to be a Cassandra, and someone should figure out how to make that happen for her.
I need to watch Doctor Who. I need to know what this
Yeah.
is all about.
You need to at least, have you looked at the pictures of her?
No.
Okay, you do need to at least, at the very, very least, look at the picture because she's literally like your mascot. She is your muse.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
love her.
Yeah, she's really
Oh,
incredible. And
wow.
she's a bitch. She's like really mean, which I think is also really fun.
Okay. I'm going to be Cassandra for Halloween. I don't know how.
Oh, that would be such a good Halloween costume. Talk about the latex beds that suck up. You could
Yes.
do
Oh
that and
my
be a
gosh. Oh my
Cassandra.
gosh. I can't wait. I really
Synergy.
can't wait.
This is our Swan Beauty
Uh-huh.
advanced style or whatever meeting of the
Mhm.
minds.
Okay, my mess of the month is the Euphoria and Half Magic collaboration. They came out with a project called Beam Trap Blush.
Okay.
So the makeup artist for Euphoria, Donnie Davy, she has a makeup brand called Half Magic. And so they just did an official collaboration with the show Euphoria to celebrate season 3. And I just thought this was so strange and fascinating. But their high beam blush and highlighter set is specifically inspired by that very famous scene of Sydney Sweeney as Cassie, like sort of hyperventilating in the bathroom. And she's like perfectly made up, but she's crying through her perfect makeup and she's insisting, I have never, ever been happier. So on the
I'm
front of the
looking at a
package of
picture.
this blush, it says, I have never, ever been happier. And on the back, it says, I think being single is really stressing you out, which is a quote from another character, Maddie, in that
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
And so Donnie Davy told Allure, that is the inspo for this product. It's Hysteria Love Rage Blush.
Okay,
And then
because
Allure, right?
I'm just looking at I Googled it because I was like, let me just get an eyeball on like what she actually looked like in the scene. Blush is like kind of the least of what's happening here.
Yes.
You know what
Okay.
I mean?
Yes.
Like there's so many beauty products involved in this look, and blush is kind of like not the one that's registering.
And this is why it is my mess of the month. So, Allure says the palette helps you create the flushed cheeks of someone who just cried in the bathroom. And so, I'm just fascinated that in this scene, Cassie's perfectly made up face is supposed to be part of her performance of being in control, of putting on this front
Right.
of happiness. The blush is not very apparent. And as she starts screaming and crying, her language and her makeup betray the truth that she is
Right.
not actually happy. And now this blush highlighter that's come out is supposed to help people evoke the look of hysteria and love rage. So it's a makeup product meant to evoke the emotion underneath the actual makeup in the scene.
Right.
Like the makeup
Right.
is a
The inner
simulacrum of
makeup.
control in the scene, and the
Right.
makeup inspired by the scene is a simulacrum of out of control hysteria.
It's bringing your eternal makeup to your face makeup.
Yeah. It's
But
like just
also
kind of mind-blowing to think of the levels of like construction of an image there.
yes. And also it's just like it's logically, like, not sound. I know this is the least of the problem here, but, like, whose cheeks become flushed because they just cried in the bathroom?
Right.
Like, I don't think cheeks flush because of that. Also, love rage, like, y'all made that
Uh-huh.
up. That's not
Yeah,
a real, like, thing that anyone's talking about or feel or I mean, I guess we're feeling it, but,
maybe.
just to coin the phrase "love rage blush" is so wild to me.
I
She's in
know.
love
Yeah.
rage.
She's
And
in a
also
love
nobody
rage.
wants to be
Don't
Cassie.
you wanna
That's
look
kind of
like you're in a love rage?
a horrible love triangle where you're actually being, like, used and abused by,
Yeah.
like, an evil boy. No, not really.
Mhm.
And the whole thing about, like, nobody wants to be Cassie. That's, like, kind of the
Yeah.
moral of the show is, like,
Yeah.
nobody wants to be her, and that the
Mhm.
appearance is, like, very much, belying a messy internal landscape of,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
nightmarish insecurities.
Yes. Which is why it's just so funny that this makeup product is not like, "Oh, do your makeup like Cassie." It's like,
Right.
do your makeup to look like you have the nightmarish insecurities and
Right, of
emotional
Cassie.
outbursts of Cassie.
Right. But, like,
So
it's just wild to me,
strange.
like, if you're gonna peg it to a u like, everyone wants to be Maddie, like, at the very least,
Yeah.
just say it's, like, Maddie's blush or something. This
Yeah.
is a very interesting, strange marketing gimmick, and the more you point out these, like, weird I don't know, these emotional
Mhm.
pegs to these products, the more I, like, can't unsee them. Even I think maybe
I
it was
know.
last month that you were talking about it was because we were talking about
Yeah.
butt blush, and you were
Yes.
saying that it's, like, it's something that's evoking, like, a natural response in the
Yes.
body to
Yes.
stimuli, and it's,
Mhm.
like, one of the only beauty products that does that.
Yeah. Yeah. Any blush almost. Look deep enough in the marketing and you'll see some sort of reference to what emotion you'll look like you're feeling when
Wow.
you wear it. Yeah.
Maybe Kris Jenner needs this love rage blush. Go see her
Maybe.
plastic surgeon in a
I
love rage.
know. Oh
Help with the
gosh.
tautness.
She needs something.
She needs something, I guess, all the time.
I think just like inner peace, you know.
Impossible? Can you
I
buy
think
that?
she
How
needs
much
like
does it
the
cost?
opposite of love rage. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Half Magic will come out with a inner peace blush
Mm,
for her
beautiful.
next. Yeah.
I'm sure Selena Gomez has something.
Oh, she does. Actually, I think she does. I think it's like inner light
There we go.
something. Yeah.
There we go. That'll fix it.
All right. Well, we've done it again. Thanks for
Woo!
listening.
Nothing to talk about. 2 solid hours
Nothing
of
to talk about this
talking.
month.
That's how it
Um,
goes.
yeah. Thank you for listening. If you liked this, please, review, subscribe, listen next month.
Comment, ask us
And
questions.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you want a mailbag episode, that would be fun.
Would love to. With pleasure.
All right.
Hey,
Bye.
bye.